1-800-448-3000.
Hey, Dick, what's going on?
Square One is asking people this question. What is a dodecahedron?
A dodeca what?
A dodecahedron.
Dodeca what?
A part of a spaceship.
Some sort of dock or deck, you know, like Indian maybe.
The ingredients you use to make bread, I guess.
A monster from a Japanese movie.
Animals. I have to say animals.
Is it an animal?
Dodecahedron. That sounds very tasty. I think I had one last week.
It's a cube with the angles cut off.
Dodecahedron. Sounds like something that somebody from a donut shop would just put together.
Holy mackerel, I don't know.
Dodecahedron, dodeca. 12, three-dimensional figure with 12 faces. That must be it. Yep, that's it.
I knew that.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
I did too.
Did not.
Well, I do now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incomparable Augustina Provolone.
I see them there, I stop and stare at patterns. I don't care, I must declare I've got a flair for patterns. On my hair, the clothes I wear, my savoir-faire is patterns. All I see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Let's go into the bathroom. I know we're in a room where you would not expect much math. Usually you're in here for a shower or a bath. But if you gaze upon the floor and if you're kind of smart, you'll see the repetition is like geometric art. Wow! Look. Everywhere I see them there, I stop and stare at patterns. I don't care, I must declare I've got a flair for patterns. On my hair, the clothes I wear, my savoir-faire is patterns. All I see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Hey! A polka meister like myself never has to be bored. I just grab my axe and play some patterns on my keyboard. Now's the time for earplugs if you care about your health. So stand back, everybody. I'm gonna express myself. Look at this. Patterns. I've got blisters on my fingers. Woo! Hey! Aw, get down. Yeah! Help me, somebody! Still there? Okay. Next time you find yourself at an exciting polka party, you can make some patterns with your feet and with your body. If you don't know the steps yet, here's the gang with all the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Weird Al Polka Dancers! Here they are. We don't care, we must be clear, we've got a flair for patterns. On our hair, the clothes we wear, our style affair is patterns. All we see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Wallpapers, skyscrapers, funny papers, patterns. Evergreens, nouvelle cuisine, human beings, patterns. Garden rakes, wedding cakes, rattlesnakes, patterns. Golden wheat, little feet, my heartbeat. I gotta stop. Patterns, 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 patterns.
Attention all
Flower.
physicians.
Oh,
Attention
doctor.
all physicians. Heal thyself.
Thank you. Oh, hello. How? Just an accident. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Matters to... You want me to what? Look, I don't know who you are or how you got this number, but I can't very well write with both of my arms. Oh, just think of a number between 1 and 100. Okay, I'll play your silly game. Okay, I got the number. Now what? Triple it? You mean multiply by 3? Okay. I got it. Now what? Add 12. Okay. Divide by 3. Okay. And now subtract 4. Hey, I got my original number back. It does? It always gives you your original number back. Well, I don't believe you. I'm gonna try it again with a different number. Okay, I'll remember it. Step 1, multiply by 3. Step 2, add 12. Step 3, divide by 3. Step 4, subtract 4. I got my original number back. This is absolutely amazing. Now, Nurse?
May I help you?
Nurse, now hurry. Think of a number between 1 and 100.
Symmetry. Symmetry.
Brought to you by Geometry, another division of mathematics. It's more than just arithmetic.
General Mathpital, crossroads of nearly 1,000 lives, a sanctuary, a haven, an edifice dedicated to the needs of those whose mathematical health is threatened.
Attention, please. The red zone is for loading and unloading only. Please get the ambulance out there.
Nurse, I've just been informed there's a case of asymmetryosis in the hospital.
Yes, doctor, there is.
Where?
Down there to the left, 307.
Dr. Kildare, the invisible man's x-rays are missing again.
Is there a case of
asymmetryosis?
Gosh, bless you.
Yes, doctor, there is a case of asymmetryosis.
Where?
307.
Dr. Hilton, Dr. Milton, your room is ready.
Asymmetryosis?
No, thanks. I'm driving.
307.
Dr. Richards, your wife would like you to reach her on her beeper.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Take it easy, doctor.
Yes, doctor. Get a grip on thyself. Heal thyself. Sort of.
Yes, well, doctors, we have our case cut out for us.
Yes, this patient is asymmetrical. We'll have to make it look
symmetrical. What is symmetry again?
It's a rotation or reflection that leaves a figure unchanged.
Ah, yes. Let's stick to reflection. Rotation makes me dizzy.
For this to be symmetrical, both sides will have to look the same. We'll have to operate. how are we going to get half this thing to be the mirror image of the other half?
I've had a similar problem, and this is how I'd solve it. Let's take a look at the patient's chart. I'd cut here, 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 and here. 6 incisions.
Will it bleed? I hate the sight of math blood.
Then I'd reattach the pieces like this, and like this, and voila! This half looks exactly like this half.
Oh, but doctor, you've cut the patient to ribbons. Oh, 6 incisions. Could it survive?
You want coddle or you want progress?
No doubt, that does turn this patient with asymmetryosis into a symmetrical figure, but is there another procedure?
I believe so. Let's try. With just 3 cuts, I believe I can make it beautiful. I simply cut here, here, and here. I then reattach here and here. There. Now the halves are mirror images.
Very good, Doctor.
Wow. I made 6 cuts. You only made 3.
Well, it saves on cuts.
And stitches.
But is there another way?
No, let's cut.
No, doctors, what if I could show you how to do this operation by making just 1 cut?
Impossible.
Let me at him.
I could do it in just 1 cut.
Don't be ridiculous. You can't make that figure into a symmetrical form with but 1 cut.
She'll be sued for non-geometrical practice.
Ha! I simply cut here and attach here.
You've done it, Doctor. With just 1 cut.
You've turned that thing with
asymmetryosis
into a thing of beauty.
Well, gentlemen, the important thing to remember is there's more than one way to skin a... If you gentlemen excuse me, my 10 o'clock patient is here.
Your 10 o'clock patient is
a cat?
Yeah, a jazz cat.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. And so once again, common sense and geometry have solved another problem at General Mathpital, crossroads of nearly 1,000 lives. Until next time, stay healthy and may the math be with you.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Monday, 4:43 p.m., and strikes continued to plague the metropolitan area. The firemen were on strike. The firewomen were on strike. Even the arsonist union was on strike. There would not be a hot time in the old town tonight. I was not working the day watch out of Mathnet. My ex-partner is George Franklin. My ex-chief is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician in trouble. We were working on a case, or should I say they were working on a case of a stolen bracelet, one which had been lifted from a VIP, very important person. We decided to look at earlier scenes to get our thinkers thinking. The first I heard of the case was when I was paid a surprise visit by...
Joe Greco, what are you... George? And Mr. Middleman? What's going on?
We come in?
They told me what was going on. They said a piece of jewelry came up missing in a jewelry salon 2 days ago. A jewelry salon where I had been, well, window shopping.
Recall when you were in my shop last Saturday?
Yes, of course.
Remember the lady who entered just as you were leaving? The lady you bumped into?
I remembered. No big deal. Then Captain Greco showed me a search warrant and asked to search my apartment. I was thunderstruck. Even more so when he showed me a piece of jewelry he found in my coat pocket.
I've never seen that before in my life.
That's the bracelet.
You sure?
Yes.
And the next thing I knew...
Sorry, Pat. Pat Tuesday, I arrest you in the name of the law. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, which will be provided by the court if you can't afford it. Do you understand these rights?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And gee, Benny.
let's look at the tape again.
Okay.
You want some coffee?
Yeah.
I'll get it. Chic, very chic. New phony fun fur? What are you doing, fashion plate?
Trying to simulate what happened in the jewelry store. George is sure it was an accident. They bumped, the bracelet came off, and
it landed in Pat's pocket.
You got it.
Hi, Skip. You want to see the videotape from the security cameras?
Yeah.
And right here is Pat and Middleman.
What are those things on the counter?
Emeralds. Middleman had them laid out for Mrs. Fester.
You can see right here, Hester's wearing the bracelet.
Uh-huh.
Right here.
No bracelet?
Right. My theory is, in the confusion after the collision, the bracelet must have fallen off and landed in Pat's pocket. Maybe. It's the only plausible explanation.
Where's Pat, Captain?
She'll be here soon.
Thanks for putting up the bail money, guys.
Anytime.
It's always a pleasure to put a criminal back on the streets.
Nice coat, Benny. Don't you think the hat's a little much?
George and I are working on your defense, Pat.
Oh?
I'm going to defend you in court, Pat.
But, George, you're not a lawyer.
No, I'm not. But I've seen the Kane Mutiny court-martial 3 times.
You said you've been simulating the accident, George.
Right.
How many times have you run it?
40.
And how many times has the bracelet landed in your pocket?
Once.
Are you saying that the probability of an accident like that happening is 1 out of 40?
Not really. I'd have to say that an accident like that occurring is, well, improbable, but not without possibility.
That has to be what happened.
Right.
Otherwise,
I did it.
Order in the court. All rise for the Honorable Judge Roy Kidney Bean.
Does the prosecution wish to make an opening statement?
May it please the court, the prosecution will waive its opening remarks and get right to the evidence. We feel we have an open and shut case.
86 to murmuring, or I'll clear the courtroom.
He used to be known as the hanging judge.
And the court will not countenance any shouting from the defense attorney either. Do you have an opening statement?
I do, Your Honor.
Well, get on with it. I've got a lunch date.
Your Honor, members of the jury, honored guests, esteemed spectators.
I'm warning you, frankly, if you put the jury to sleep, I'll hold you in contempt. Did you go to law school?
No, Your Honor. My folks wouldn't let me.
Hurry up.
Yes, O guardian of justice. This case is not open and shut. It's open. My client has been accused of a crime she did not commit, and we intend to prove her innocence.
All right.
Please try to be patient, Your Honor.
You are trying my patience, and this isn't even a malpractice suit.
Through a series of character witnesses, I will establish what a swell person Pat Tuesday is. And then, with the use of a videotape sequence shot at the jewelry salon, plus expert testimony, you will see exactly what happened on that fateful day when my client was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Thank you.
Let the prosecution call its first witness.
The prosecution calls Mrs. Hester Fester to the stand.
You
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you gosh?
I do. Be seated.
Mrs. Fester, you are the benevolent ruler of the scenic land of Mondo Yucky. Is that a fact?
I am.
I object.
On what ground?
Mondo Yucky is not scenic, and she is not a benevolent ruler. Mondo Yucky is impoverished, and Fester is a dictator.
Need we quibble?
Let the record show that the joint has seen better days and that the ruler is not a very nice person.
Were you in Mr. O.D. Middleman's jewelry store last Saturday? And were you wearing this bracelet?
What's that hanging from?
A dodecahedron, Your Honor.
A what?
A dodecahedron.
A what?
A dodecahedron.
That's what I thought.
Yes, I was. I was wearing it when I entered, and then it was stolen from me.
Is the person who stole it in this courtroom?
Yes, the nerd sitting right there.
Let the record show that the witness is pointing at the defense attorney.
No, the other nerd.
No further questions. Your witness.
This is the bracelet you say was stolen from you last Saturday, Mrs. Gotrocks?
It's Fester, you insolent dunderhead.
Sorry, Mrs. Fester.
Yes, that is my bracelet.
Can you describe it for the jury of her peers?
Describe it? Just show it to the jury of her peers.
If Your Honor, please.
It's a simple piece with a bauble in the shape of a dodecahedron hanging from it.
And a dodecahedron is?
A three-dimensional geometric figure which has 12 faces. It is also the symbol of my country.
Yes. And on this particular dodecahedron is a series of letters. What do they mean?
I don't know. They're from antiquity. They mean nothing to me.
You don't know what the letters mean?
No, I don't.
I will allow that murmur because frankly made a pretty good point.
I submit that this may not be the woman's bracelet. Whoops. Can't find it.
You better not lose that, Flatfoot.
Darndest thing. When I dropped it, it fell into my coat pocket. Isn't that funny? No further questions, Your Honor.
This court is in recess until 2 p.m.
George, you are one smart legal eagle.
This court is in session.
Call your next witness, Ms. Prosecutor.
The prosecution calls Mr. O. Dean Middleman to the stand.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you gosh?
Of course.
Mr. Middleman, you were present last Saturday when Mrs. Fester visited your store, were you not?
I was.
And did you note that she was wearing a bracelet when she entered?
No, madam. The first I heard of a bracelet was when Pat, Miss Tuesday, left my salon.
Tell the court what happened.
Miss Tuesday was just leaving when Mrs. Fester entered. They bumped into each other. Then I began to show some emeralds to Mrs. Fester, and suddenly she screamed.
She screamed?
Mm-hmm. You know.
Hollering!
sorry. Then she said her bracelet was missing.
But you said you hadn't noticed the bracelet when she came in.
No, not until later, when I looked at the videotape of our security system. Then I noticed she had it on when she came in.
And after Ms. Tuesday left?
Mrs. Fester didn't have the bracelet.
Mr. Middleman, I've just received information that you had a phone call during recess, and that call may shed some light on this case. Would you relate to the court what the call was about?
Well, I mean, really?
May I remind the witness that he is under oath?
I got a call from an anonymous man.
Who said?
He told me one of the emeralds from my collection was stolen. He told me to phone my office to confirm this.
And did you?
Yes, and my assistant checked.
Is the emerald missing?
Yes, it is.
I object, Your Honor. This information is irrelevant and immaterial. Has nothing to do with this case.
Yeah. What are you driving at, Ms. District Attorney?
What else did the man on the phone say?
He told me it was stolen last Saturday, and if we checked Pat Tuesday's apartment, we'd find it.
Order! Order! I am going to make a ruling. I know it is unusual, but not without precedent. I'm changing the venue of this trial for the time being to Ms. Pat Tuesday's apartment, where we shall see what we shall see.
I've never seen that before. It isn't mine.
No, it's mine.
Well, I had...
"100% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the Carnegie Corporation of New York, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the financial support of viewers like you.
Corporate funding of Square One TV is provided by the Intel Corporation Foundation. Intel's technology is the brain power for computers in your life. Intel, the computer inside.
This is PBS.
Did you know that arthritis cripples more Americans than any other disease? But a lot can be done to minimize the pain and damage. First step is to see your doctor if it's difficult or painful to move when you wake up, or if any joints are painful, swollen, red, or warm. The sooner you begin proper medical treatment for arthritis, the better you'll feel, beyond a shadow of a doubt. For a free booklet with more information, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.